Whoop, we're live. Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Thursday. We are almost through another week. So congrats to you for making it through. Whether you felt like it was a victorious week or you just crawled through, you made it. So congratulations. Hello, Dad. Welcome. So we are here with another episode of In Conversation. I'm super excited to have you guys. I appreciate you for tuning in. Hopefully you've had a good week. By the way, if you hear any random cheering, there is early voting right across the street, and every time there is a first-time voter, they cheer really loud, which is awesome. Super excited for that. But if you hear it cheering, that's what it is. So yes, this is my final episode in the series that I have called Homecoming Season, where we really have just featured some really dope HBCU grads and just cool things that they're doing. Today's guest is equally as awesome, maybe even more awesome than other guests I've had. Everyone's awesome. This is ridiculous. But yes, today's guest is Alzo Slade. You may have seen him on Vice News. He's won an Emmy for his work there. He's also a comedian. He's also a photographer. If you live in the New York area or any popular or larger metro areas, you may be aware of a little thing called Grits and Biscuits, a little crawfish broil, one of the masterminds behind that. So just super multifaceted individual, and I'm very excited to have him join me today. I think it's going to be a really great way to close out the season, or not the season, but the series that I have. And so thank you everyone for joining. Hello, Rhonda, Mom, good to see you. Thank you so much. So yeah, I hope you guys have been having a great day, a great week. It's almost the election, so I don't know how you guys are feeling. I am a little nervous. I'm super excited to see how many voters are getting out. Please make sure you get out and vote if you have not already. What's up, X? Thanks for joining. Make sure you have a plan to get out and vote. Ivy and Alan, hey guys, thanks for joining. And, hey Alzo, let me know. Oh, perfect. Yeah, so hopefully you guys have a plan for voting, but let's bring Alzo in right now. So, it's almost the election. I'm ready, I think, for it to come and just happen. It's a lot of pressure. Hey, Alzo.
What's cracking?
How you doing?
You know what I'm saying? One day at a time these days. You know what it is.
I know. It's a lot going on these days.
You just said. How you feeling?
I'm good. I was just saying I'm glad I made it through the week. I think this was probably one of my more productive weeks. Some weeks is just like, hey, I made it through the day. This week I've been feeling a little more like, How are you?
Man, it's been a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good though. I'm trying to get my setup here so you can see me proper. Like you got your shit all fly over there. I need to listen. I need to step my game up.
Time you have a colored wall also. We both have an accent wall with photos.
Hold on. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on.
Good. Hey everyone who's joining. Edison, I saw X, Stevie. Yes, X with Henny.
So X on there?
Yes, he is.
What's up, boy?
Is. Yes, let me see. This new live. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Don Will, Coffee Adjacent. Let's see. Yeah, so cool. This new live doesn't show anything the whole time.
You know what?
No, nothing. It was just the setup on my end.
Oh.
Yes. So how's life? How's everything?
So far, so good. A lot going on in the world, as you just mentioned. But, hey, we out here.
Yep.
We out here.
Okay, so I was going to start with this little game. So a friend of mine had made these conversation cards having to do with homecoming. So, this is like my homecoming series for the month of October. So I'm just highlighting like dope HBCU grads.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I should have put my PV gear on. That's what I should have done.
I mean, it's okay. Hey, everyone. Let's see. Baxter, what's up? What's going on? Okay, I have 5 cards. So I don't know if you can see. We're going to start there.
We start dead center. Square up on that thing.
This one. All right. What is your favorite homecoming game song?
Homecoming game song?
Pre-game. Yes. I know you got a good one too. No pressure.
it got to be crime. It got to be Nuck. You know, it got to be. You know what I'm saying? Nuck if you buck. You know. But what's crazy is I thought this as soon as you said I thought of like before the game, you know, when the band march in, they got this cadence that they rock. You know what I'm saying? And like I would sing it, but I ain't even go do that to your people like that. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
moved by the spirit. Go ahead and sing.
Nah, all you got to do is Google Prairie View A&M University marching storm.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Club.
Stadium entrance, huh?
I said X said you trying to fight in the club with that Nuck if you buck.
Nah. We just get ready to put them paws on whoever coming up in the stadium to get that whooping. That's all.
Miss Baxter said I was in the band at A&T. I want to hear this.
Yeah. See, this is the thing about HBCU, right? Because you got kinfolks on here that went to HBCUs, and what I love about it is we gonna talk trash to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like A&T, PV, Tuskegee, Howard, Hampton, we gonna talk cash money to each other. But let somebody from a PWI try to roast HBCUs. Oh no, we come together like Transformers.
Real quick, yes, just like Transformers, real quick. Like, no, we don't do that. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see.
Oh, I gotta pick.
Yeah, pick another one.
Wait, there's still 5 of them now.
No, it's 4. It's 4.
Oh, okay. I'm picking the one farthest to your right.
To my right, this one?
Yeah. Okay.
What's your absolute favorite homecoming memory? Oh, Chris Harris, up, Rob, and Grave Shift.
Oh yeah, this EVC 2030 is deep. 2030 is deep. We ain't 2030 no more though.
Search.
Favorite homecoming memory. Man, I got a lot. I got so many. But one year one year, me and my partner, my roommate, we were the mascots at Prairie View for one year, one season. Yes. Wow. Yeah. I had to post the photos on one of these Throwback Thursdays.
Yes.
We were mascots, and we weren't friendly mascots.
Oh.
Like we used to box with the other mascots. So we were mischievous, or as Kim folks say, mischievous.
Yes.
So there was a homecoming where we played a prank on the other mascot, and they didn't like it, and then they tried to get bucked, and they got whooped.
Oh no. So how did you become a mascot? You are the first person I've known who actually was the mascot.
Oh, it was just one of those things where they needed somebody. Well, at Prairie View you have 2 mascots.
Okay.
There's 2 suits. And so me and my roommate, we were just clowning, and the dudes who were mascots before us, they were like, man, y'all should just go ahead and get in the suit and start fooling around. And we were like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
We used to in basketball games, we used to run and bunny hop, straddle, jump over the referees and land in a split on the basketball court during the timeout.
Stop.
You know how you run, and then you plant your hand on their shoulders.
Yes.
And then you leapfrog over them, and then we would land in a split in the Panther suit.
Oh my gosh, that takes talent. Like
that takes talent. That takes talent and youth.
Yes, and youth.
I don't have either one of those anymore.
Oh man. Let's see. Dana Christian said, "I remember that game."
See?
Yeah.
PV represent.
Yeah, so many people are joining. We have Marcel, FWFNYC, Gabby, Gil. It's a whole bunch of people. Yep. Oh, Coffee Adjacent said.
Oh, my man Terrence Omar joined. That's my partner. He much younger than me.
Okay.
But he bleeds purple and gold just like me. That's my man. He got a merch line where he sell PV gear, all sorts of gear outside of PV related to Black folks. I just want to shout him out. That's my dog.
Yep. Oh, that's dope. I love seeing that. I've seen a lot of that. You know, I actually randomly found a Howard alum. I'm sure he graduated a few years before me. He had this whole line of stuff, and I bought a shirt today. I had no idea.
because at homecoming, it is like an unwritten competition, like
Yeah.
an unspoken competition of who got the best gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It'd be like, yo, where you get that shirt? Yo, you asking too many questions, homie.
Exactly. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. And I feel like for me, at least when I noticed at Howard, it's more on like the school gear once you're an alum. Like as a student, I'm just trying to fly, like not necessarily with anything that said Howard so much. But once I graduated, it was like, no.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So what made you choose Prairie View? How'd you get there?
Ooh. So I wanted to be a pilot in the United States Marine Corps.
Really?
Yes. Not many people know this. I wanted to be a pilot in the United States Marine Corps. I wanted to be a Blue Angel. I wanted to fly F-18 Hornets.
Oh, specific. You knew exactly. That was it.
I knew specifically what I wanted to do. And Prairie View had one of the top engineering programs. So I was going to do engineering there. And they had one of the top naval ROTC programs. And so I went to Prairie View to study engineering and enrolled in naval ROTC so I could fly jets in the Marines.
Nice. Nice.
And as you can see, a couple things happened between now and then that, took me off that path.
Not exactly, but hey.
You know what took me off the path?
What?
My father, it's funny, my father told me when I told him I wanted to go to the military, he said, "You never make it, son." And that was strange because my pops usually is encouraging and supportive of what I do, or what I want to do, especially if it's positive. And I said, "Pops, why would you say something like that?" He said, "You won't make it in the military because you ask too many questions. You're too curious." He said, "You're a thinker and you don't like to be told what to do." And it took me to go to ROTC to realize that, because the captain came in, he came in and gave an entire lecture on blind obedience. And I was like, ooh.
Not for me. It's not.
Like, yeah, as my mom said, that dog ain't gonna hunt.
Right. That's not it. X said he's used to see he's seen Blue Angels many times.
Yeah, see? X know what the deal is.
Yeah. Let's see. The complete package said, I take offense to that.
Wait, was the complete package in the military?
Were you in the military, the complete package?
Oh, did a whole career. Yo, listen, respect our military. I'm just saying it wasn't for me.
Right.
That's all. I ain't saying it wasn't for anybody else.
Right.
Let's get that on the record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No disrespect to our folks that's serving.
Yes, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. So what are some of the favorite things you have about
that boy Rob say that's not my ministry. That's real.
Exactly. Yes. So what is it like of your favorite things just about attending Prairie View? Like when you think back and you're like, yes.
Them gals.
Hey, that's it.
Listen. When I went to Prairie View, I wasn't ready. I didn't know. Listen, you got all sorts of women at Prairie View. You got tall, short, skinny, thick. You got light skin, caramel, dark skin. I was like, man, I'm supposed to get work done. I'm supposed to study with all this. So that was my instinctual reaction, at Prairie View. But then, there's nothing like being like, that's the only time probably in life, in your young adulthood especially, that you're going to be around that many people that share your cultural and ethnic background. You know what I'm saying? So you got the rest of your life to be in the world. But it was like HBCUs are like many educational institutions of Wakanda.
Well, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but let's be clear, they come with their issues now. You know what I'm saying?
So real. Yes, they do. They definitely do. I forgot. X was saying that fam was the same way.
Yeah. See, and I grew up in Tallahassee.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I was on the campus of FAMU when I was in middle school and high school, so I know the score. I know what it's like up there on the set at FAM.
Yes.
Ooh, dangerous. Go to class, boy.
What's up, Radira? We have so many EBC fam in the building. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about what's your whole journey like? So are you from Tallahassee, or you just grew up near there, and then to where you are now? I'd like to hear this.
I just say I'm from the dirty South. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi. Then I moved to Austin, Texas. Then I moved to Tallahassee, Florida. Then I went to Prairie View. So and my pops from Alabama. So, I'm from the mud.
The South.
And then you hear the accent. Like I'm too exhausted to be code switching. So I just keep it.
Yep. Okay, so then you went to Prairie View. So did you still do engineering at Prairie View, or did you switch?
No. I switched that thing up. I was like, engineering, that's not my ministry either. You know what happened at Prairie View was, so this is the thing. So at PV, like even in like middle school, high school, I never was a smooth dude. I was like, in order to get girls, like my best asset was making them laugh, and so I was a class clown. You just play whatever skill set you got up, you just play it up, and I was a class clown, and you develop that skill set of being a class clown. It comes like you can be charismatic, and you can kind of charm your way with professors. You can charm your way from like a C to a B minus, or a B minus to a B plus. You know what I'm saying? Without having done the work, you just kind of sliding and gliding, slipping and dipping. Yep. And you make the girls giggle, you make the professor smile, and all of a sudden your world is better. But
what?
There's always a few folks that see your game, that see it coming. And some of them may be your peers, and others may be professors. And there's this one professor, Dr. Amari Obadeli, rest his soul. He was one of them professors where he look at you in your eyes, and I'm sitting there trying to charm him and be all charismatic, and he say, "What you doing, son? What you doing? What you mean what I'm doing, Dr. Obadeli?" It's like, you better than this. You better than this. And yo, straight chin check. Like, he ain't have to say much. And he was yay tall. He's probably like 5'6". He wear them seersucker suits like Matlock. And he had a head full of gray hair. And I remember one time I was wearing gloves. Not that it's ever too cold enough in Texas to wear gloves, but when black folks, if a breeze come by, you got some smooth outerwear you want to wear it. So I rolled up on him one day on campus, and I went to shake his hand, and I had my glove on. He said, "Mr. Slade, you gonna shake my hand with your glove on?" Ooh. You know how them cartoons you do like this? You go from this to
yes.
So it was professors like him, and like just being a class clown. At some point, I recognized that I didn't want to be the court jester anymore. I didn't want to just make people laugh. And so it was at Prairie View where I was exposed to books like The Miseducation of the Negro, Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery by Dr. Naeem Akbar, the likes of Dr. Carter G. Woodson and so many other authors, Francis Cress Welsing, like all of that. And I started reading books. It was an oasis of knowledge for me to understand who I was as a Black human being and as a Black man. And so that was where I developed my intellectual curiosity, or where I fine-tuned it, where my pops was like, "You ask too many questions." Now I directed that energy of curiosity into understanding who I was as a person, and Prairie View A&M University was the best place for me to do it.
Right.
And I didn't even know it.
Right. It just like happened as you were there.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we have comedy. You're also a photographer. Now you're a correspondent on Vice. We also, I mean, I have to give a shout out to Grits and Biscuits and
You know
Crawfish.
what I'm saying?
Let me
Turn
tell
up.
you, it's like, I say the season opener is how I always refer to it. Like, not summer if Crawfish hasn't happened. And that's like hands down favorite event. Like, I love it. But anyway, so all of these things, I guess, what did you figure out as one of your interests first? I know you said you were a class clown, but how did all these like interests and, skills, talents bubble up and you figure them out?
It wasn't intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like these things they just happen. I, as I said before, I don't like people telling me what to do. So I realized a long time ago in my earlier years that I wouldn't make a good employee.
Mm.
So because I don't mind you telling me what to do if I respect you, but many times in corporate America, you don't have control over who your leader is, right?
Yeah.
And so it would be difficult for me to follow someone that I didn't respect. And so I recognized that being an employee of someone else probably was not a good idea for me. So I had to figure this thing out on my own. And coming out of Prairie View, I didn't feel the need to get this high paying job. I worked for 2 years at a company that sold professional film and video production equipment because I wanted to learn it. I wanted to be in film and television, right? I wanted to be in film and television. And so I was like, what better way to learn the equipment than to work at a place where you got to sell it?
Right.
So I worked there for a couple years and I was like, this employment thing ain't it. And then I at this point, I've been reading books like Stolen Legacy, all the Black books, all the books on, on the Kin folks' history. And then this is the thing, I started reading books that told me Black folks did everything, white folks didn't do nothing. If white folks say they did it, that means they stole it from Black folks, right? Mm-hmm. And some of that may be true, but that's not absolutely true.
Right.
And so, you getting these books that they ain't got no bibliography, no works cited. I'm like, man, where y'all getting this from?
Right. Did you make this up? Like,
you know what I'm saying? And the words printed crooked all on the page.
Yeah.
The bounding is stapled and not, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I want to know more. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know what was beyond that, because a person that is authentically and genuinely seeking knowledge and truth, you don't just limit yourself to the books that tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's biased research, right? And so I was like, nah, bro, if you're going to do this for real, if you're serious about this intellectual development, this intellectual journey, then you need to expand and read all sorts of stuff. And I was most interested in philosophy, but at Prairie View, I didn't have a background in philosophy, and I wanted to study. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to study. I wanted to see what they was talking about on another level.
Yeah.
So then, while I was still in Houston working, now I bought a house. I bought a house at 22. I bought a house. I had the car. According to Southern standards, all else I need to do was get a wife and some kids. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, not just yet. I got to go see the world. I got to go develop this intellect. So I started looking at philosophy programs at the top schools. Not for me to go to them, but I just wanted to see what they were studying. So what I would do is I go to these websites for like Harvard, Yale, Stanford, their philosophy programs. I find the classes that I'd want to take. And then I go to the professor who was teaching them. I print the syllabus out, and then I would go buy the books, and I would read them as if I was in the class, right?
So dope.
And as I'm reading them now, listen, philosophy is to me an amazing subject, right?
Yes.
But some of these philosophers, the way they write, you like, man, what is you talking about, bro? And so to read them on your own is not the most easiest thing to do, right? But I'm reading it, I'm taking up, this information, and then I was like, man, I want to see if I can hang with the big boys, but I'm still interested in film. So what I did was I found one of the top philosophy graduate programs in Los Angeles, and I applied to the school in Los Angeles, and I got in, and so I was able to keep one foot in film and the other foot in academia. And so when it comes to entertainment, I still had that, but then I was developing my intellect and satisfying my intellectual curiosity through the academic study of philosophy.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's a great plan.
Yeah. But it wasn't a plan. It was just like, this is just something that I wanted to do. Like, I didn't go to graduate school to get a job. I went to graduate school for personal edification. Like, I want to learn. What's the best way I could do this? Go to graduate school.
Yeah. Yep. Let me see, who is this? Miss Baxter said, I call it academies. Trying to get through some of these papers like it's like trying to drink a brick.
Yes.
And Andrew says, your backgrounds are the same color. Are you actually, us, are we in the same room? No. I'm in Harlem. Where are you?
Brooklyn.
Okay. No, we're not in the same room. Let me see. Very funny. X said we're actually across the room.
Yeah, these folks got jokes.
I know, jokes. But thank y'all for joining. There's so many people in the room. What's up? Ask any questions. Y'all drop questions in if you want. So when you said you were in film, was that behind the camera or in front of the camera when you were in LA?
Behind the camera. I wanted to be a cinematographer.
Okay.
So I did cinematography for a while. I shot low budget to no budget films. Like, I'm talking about, were you the gaffer, you the grip, you the craft service, you cooking the food, you holding the boom mic, you doing everything.
Everything. Yep.
Yeah, so I did that for a minute. And that's actually how I got into photography, was through film.
Okay. That's dope. Okay, so you got into photography, you started doing that. Was it like, is that sort of when you branched into it, or did actually exploring photography come later?
Nah, I got into photography because I met somebody on one of the film sets who was a photo assistant. And make a short story shorter, they took me under their wing. They told me you can make $200 a day. I was like, I'm sold. So they took me under their wing, and I did a few jobs with them, and then a photographer from New York came. But this is a story that many folks don't know. So check this out. So I was a photo assistant for
This is in LA.
In LA.
Okay.
I was a photo assistant for maybe a few months.
Okay.
Maybe like 2 months. I didn't really know what I was doing, you know.
Yeah.
So like 2 months in, so the first job I did was like for TV Guide. I was a photo assistant. Then for like a couple other magazines, and then Playboy magazine. So I'm sitting in the Hollywood Hills, butt-naked women walking around, and my country ass is like, man, what part of the game is this? You know?
How old are you at this point?
I'm like 24. Yeah. So then check this. I don't know how I got it. You know, you're a hustler. You know, at HBCU, you learn how to hustle.
Yes.
So at this point, Prince was coming back out and going on his worldwide tour.
Like Prince, the
musician, the artist Prince.
All right.
And Prince has a photographer that shoots all of his shows, right? For somehow he got in touch with me to assist him while he was doing his shows at the Staples Center in LA.
Yo,
3 nights.
What?
So Prince had this very strict rule that only one photographer could shoot the show. So my job, the photographer that was shooting the show, he had cameras stationed all around the arena.
Yes.
And he would run from camera to camera and just shoot from different angles. And my job was to take the card out of the camera, take it backstage to the dude who was the digital tech on the laptop to download the images. Then I would format the cards and then put them back into the cameras, right? And at the end of every night, me, the photographer, the digital assistant on the computer, Prince, and whatever girl Prince was with that night. It was the 5 of us who would edit the images that we would send to the press to be printed the next day.
Yo, that's crazy. X said was musicology tour?
Huh?
Musicology, that tour?
Yes. Yes. 04, absolutely. That's it. Yo, X be killing it in the trivia music trivia game, yo. So then the next week, this photographer comes from New York, and they need a second assistant. And somehow they found me. I didn't know who the shooter was. So I go to the studio early because I don't know how to work the gear, really. Okay. And I called my homeboy that put me on, and I was like, yo, I'm at the studio, and I'm in front of this gear. I need you to kind of walk me through. All I know how to do is to turn it on. Okay. And so he walks me through, and he says, who's the shooter? And I said, I don't know. He said, go outside and look on the front door. I said, I only know that we shooting Christina Aguilera. That's it. He said, well, who's the shooter? Go out and look on the front door. So he said, I said, man, it's Gilles Ben Simon. Gilles Ben Simon. He says, Gilles motherfucking Ben Simone? Gilles Ben Simone? Are you serious? He's like one of the top 5 fashion photographers of the world. Yes. He's just going off. I'm like, I don't know who this is, bro. He's like, dude, this is a major photographer. Yeah. I was like, all I just know is that we shooting Christina Aguilera. So there's 2 days we shooting Christina Aguilera. Okay. And Gilles, he has a first assistant. Mm-hmm. I'm the second assistant. Okay. Right? So the first assistant travels with Gilles. Okay. I'm the second assistant that they just picked up. I knew we were shooting Christina Aguilera, and I knew she was going to be a diva. So I brought books to the set. Okay. I brought Aristotle's Politics and St. Augustine's Confessions, both of which are philosophy books. And the second day, the first day, Gilles didn't say anything to me. The second day, he saw the books, and the first assistant, he saw the books, and we struck up a conversation because he asked me if I was American. And I said, in a manner of speaking. He said, what does that mean? I said, I'm Black and I'm in America, so it's nuanced. It has layers. And we got into this whole conversation about philosophy, politics, history, and religion. And at the end of the second day, they asked me if I'd be willing to move to New York to work with them on a regular basis. What? But at the same time, Prince's photographer asked me, would I be willing to travel around the world to assist him on his tour?
What? I cannot handle this. This is incredible.
So I had to decide between moving to New York to be a photo assistant for a fashion photographer that shoots for Elle magazine and being the assistant to Prince's photographer traveling around the world on his tour. Yes. So what did you choose? I chose New York.
Really?
And the reason I chose New York is because as a photo assistant to a famous fashion photographer, I'd have access to equipment, and I could shoot on my own. Yep. It was made very clear to me that Prince does not allow anybody else to shoot. So I would have just been, a pack mule. Yeah. So I chose the opportunity that I felt I'd learned the most from. Yeah. That's dope. And, I mean, had I chose Prince, I probably wouldn't have been here with you. I don't know what I've been doing.
We don't know. Yes, X said that is God. Yes, everybody's like, these are amazing stories. So, yes, that was amazing. So, okay, so you moved to New York. So that's how you got to New York, because I was going to ask how you got.
That's how I got to New York, and I was a photo assistant to Gilles for 2 years. Traveled the world. Oh, country boy. I'm traveling. We shooting. We in Tahiti, Rome, Mexico, Paris, like Nice, Saint-Tropez. Oh my God. And listen, we were on a remote island in Tahiti shooting Natalie Portman. And I was like, I'm getting paid for this.
This is crazy. Yes.
my homeboy in the yard said, I know it's over years, and you know any of this. But you always gotta keep a few trump cards up your sleeve. Listen, because I don't know. Listen, I always tell young people, I don't know what the key to success is, but part of it is knowing things that people don't expect you to know. You know, so every once in a while, you got that big joker, that little joker, you got to play it. If you went to an HBCU and you don't know what I'm talking about, then give your degree back.
Oh man, that's so dope. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I want to hear the rest of the story. So you moved to New York, so you're traveling around the world for 2 years with
Traveling around the world for 2 years.
the amazing, all this crazy work.
So then as a photo assistant, I got keys to the studio.
Oh, so you can
I got access to all of the equipment. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So this is what I do, right? I know I'm not going to be a photo assistant for the rest of my life. That just ain't in my DNA, you know? Yeah. And I didn't know, you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know at the time that photographers could make $15,000, $20,000, $50,000 in a day.
Yeah.
I remember the first photo assistant job with Gilles. We had a van full of equipment. We drove to the Hamptons, and the assignment was Gilles was shooting Donna Karen, her daughter, and her granddaughters on their property, their estate. They had 2 homes joined by a big backyard and an infinity pool looking out on the Hudson River.
Oh my God. It sounds
and amazing. I sat and she had a cook, she had a chef, all of that. And I sat there watching her grandkids play, and I thought to myself, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to live in this kind of comfort. And it's not that I wanted to be these people, right? But you recognize when you don't have to concern yourself with the worries of like finances, it frees up mental space for you to be creative and innovative when it comes to personal development and professional development, And so it was at that moment where I was like, studying philosophy, I recognized that I want to live a life with meaning, but living a life with meaning doesn't mean that you have to be broke.
Yeah.
And so I started to schedule photo shoots to build my portfolio. Mm-hmm. So then I was planning my exit. Right. So while I was there, use the resources that I have at my disposal to build my portfolio, and then start shopping it around while I'm working with him. And then I get a job. You don't want to lose your for sure. Right. For some more. You know what I'm saying? You want your some more to be there before you lose your for sure. Sometimes you got to step out. You know what I'm saying?
Like that, and that is so perfect.
So check this. Then this is how it happened. I was at the airport in Miami, and there was this long line at security.
Okay.
Long line. And I saw these 2 middle-aged white women. They looked frantic. They looked frantic. They were rushing, and then they picked me to ask me. They were like, Is this the line? They came in and whispered to me, "Is this the line?" And then I saw how like how anxious they were, right? And so I just looked at them and I said, because I was like at the first quarter of, like, I was towards the front of the line. I'd been waiting for a minute. So I looked at them and I said, "Where you guys been? I've been waiting on you for all this time, and I thought I was gonna have to go through security without you." And they looking at me like, "What?" And then I'm looking at them like,
right?
And then one of them caught on, and they were like, "Oh, we just had trouble checking in," and da 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 da. And then I brought them in to me, right, to join me in the line, right. And they were just mad gracious. They were like, they're so expressive with gratitude. And come to find out,
what?
One of those women was an art director, and the other woman was her client, and the company that the woman represented was a jewelry company that makes pearls. Listen. Pearl necklaces and pearl bracelets, right? Yeah. So we talking about what I do. I said, "Yeah, I'm a photo assistant, I'm a photographer, da 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 da." And they're like, "Oh, well, we work in I represent this jewelry company, and this is the art director, we do advertising and whatnot. We love to see your book." So we set up, we get back to New York, we exchange information, we get back to New York, set up an appointment. I show her my book that I already been working on, right?
Yep.
So got the book ready, leather bound with my name embossed in it, you know what I'm saying? And she flips through the book and they're like, well, we don't see any jewelry photography in here. And I was like, well, I can do it. And then they said, well, it'd be difficult for us to sell you as the photographer if you don't have the work that is similar to what we want, right?
Yep.
So I said, well, how about this? Now, I still got the keys to the studio.
Okay.
I still got the gear, right?
Okay.
So I said, how about this? How about you bring the jewelry? I'll get the model. We can decide on the model. I'll get the hair. I'll get the makeup. I got the studio. I got the gear. You don't have to pay for nothing. You just show up with the jewelry. I'm confident in my ability to shoot what you need. So we'll shoot it. If you like it, you buy it. If you don't, then it's still photos for everybody who worked on it, for their book, you know. So everybody's in agreement. They bring the jewelry. I got everybody set up. We shoot the stuff.
Yes.
Them jokers buy it. And next thing you know, I'm their photographer for the next 4 or 5 seasons. And it got to the point, man, these jokers paid me, like, they paid me one time $15,000 for one day of work. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
There's so much God just like all these ad-libs. This is amazing. I love these stories. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's how I left being a photo assistant and became a photographer. Yep. And then I was making plenty of money. Then the recession hit. A lot of that money went away. And then, like many of us, we had to reassess and kind of reinvent ourselves, especially people who work for themselves, like freelance, right? Yeah. And then at that point, I had traveled so much, seen enough, and I felt like I had something to say. So I went to an open mic, a comedy open mic in New York, just to see. I was like, maybe I dust off that old class clown situation, you know what I'm saying, and see if I get on stage and slang these jokes. Because I did stand up when I was in college, but I never intended to be a professional at it. It was just clowning. And so I went to an open mic and I said, well, these jokers, I may not be funnier than them, but I can't do no worse.
Hey, you gotta look at the bright side. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I started. That's how I got into comedy.
Dang, this is amazing. So amazing. Okay, so I don't even know. Where did like the grits and biscuits come in and all this? Was this like, how did that come about?
So grits and biscuits was in 2010, right? So this is shortly after the recession, because recession is 2008, right?
Right.
But grits is me, Erica Lewis, which, you know, a lot of folk on this call know her. She like a sister from another mister, and my brother Maurice. So the idea was, like, listen, man, like, I was in Brooklyn. It was a lot of bohemian parties in Brooklyn. You know, like them parties where cats is showing up with them chew sticks. You know, people that they ain't really brush their teeth. They say you could do it with this little root, you know. Like, and then, you know, the folks is burning incense on the dance floor. They listen to Fela and, you know, and Stevie and, you know, all that, right? Which is fine, because that's part of me too. Right? Yes. But then every once in a while, man, you know what I'm saying? You want to go from Fela to that loop. You know what I'm saying? You want to go from Fela to that crime mob. You want to be able to drop that thing, you know. And what do you say? He said he was there. People thought he worked at Urban Plaza. He was there. So it was basically 2 parties in New York. It was the bohemian parties or the super club situation, where there was, like, you know, VIP, dress code, bottle service. If you were a dude, like, with 2 of your partners, you ain't getting in because you don't have no women with you. And then if you're a woman that is seemingly unattractive by their standards, you're not getting in, right? So, and then once you got in, if you got in, ain't nobody dancing. And so we're like, man,
you got the heels on. Yeah.
Exactly. So we just like, man, we want to be able to get loose and, you know, provide a space where people let their hair down. And we want to listen to music that we grew up on. You know, you went to a HBCU, this is, you know, the gym parties, the tent parties, whatever kind of parties that were staple parties on the yard. Like, we missed that, you know. And at this point, there's a lot of upperly mobile kinfolks that had discretionary income, that are professional, but didn't have a space to kind of just get loose and dance, and without judgment and without the pretension and bouginess. And so we just created a party that we wanted to go to. And that's entrepreneurship 101. You solve a problem or fulfill a need, you know?
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. And then, so when did, let me think, that was 2010. Okay. I didn't live here yet. I moved in 2011. I think y'all had a couple by the time I moved here. So my first grits that I went to, my friends were like, no, like, I had line sisters coming from out of town. They're like, oh, grits is that weekend, we come, because that was before y'all took like on the road. This is when it was only in New York. So people were like, is it? Okay, we come in, and I'm like, oh, it's really a thing. Like, this is a thing. It's amazing. I loved it.
Well, and to be clear, especially with present company listening, it was church folks that catapulted, that started Grits and Biscuits off, because at the time, Erica and I were going to the 2030s Bible study, and you know, we're just like, hey, you know, at the end, you know, folks give their announcements, and I gave the announcements. I was like, look, I know, you know, Kim folks in here, you know, you Christian, and you into the good book, if you will, you know, but I'm just letting y'all know we got this party situation that's happening this weekend, and you know, we love for y'all to come. And just cause you love Jesus don't mean you can't twerk a little bit and have some fun.
True.
And the folks, the first people on the dance floor was the Bible study folks.
Yes, shout out to EBC. Yes, X said 2030 set it off for sure.
Yes.
Robbie said Williamsburg Music Hall and those Southpaw nights.
Southpaw. You probably came after Southpaw.
I did.
Southpaw was no bigger than your apartment, hardly.
Oh, okay.
Like
it was like tight.
It was tight, but it was. But I mean, it was like
a party, like a house.
What's the party? What's the party that is known from your days at Howard?
Latex.
And where was it held? Like was it like in a gym?
At first they were on campus in like the Student Union building, Blackburn.
Yeah, so that was that.
That was it.
Like for us in Prairie View, it's the Baby Dome. It's what's the spot? The Fairgrounds.
Okay.
The Fairgrounds. Ooh. You come in there with your cologne and your perfume. It lasts for maybe 10 minutes. It's a wrap.
Oh man, let me see. Yes. X said the first one at Southpaw was still his favorite one. Breed said, had my fan and my family event.
My partner Brandon Allen on that. That's like my brother from another mother. That boy said Zippies. He took it back. Zippies was the size of a bathroom, and there were about 300 people in there.
And it was probably the best parties in there.
Yes.
Robbie said the Grits and Biscuits fans made their way to Sunday service.
No, we got photos of people in the choir stand with the Grits and Biscuits fans.
That's amazing. That's so amazing.
Them fans is anointed.
Well, here, I always wanted one. Every time I got there, I was like, yes, I need a fan. But then when I'm trying to dance, I'm like, where do I put it?
Wait, you don't have a fan? You don't have not one?
I do. I don't know if I have any more. Because sometimes they get destroyed too throughout the night. Like, it's good when I first get it.
Yeah. They ain't twerk proof.
No, they're not. Yes, so many memories.
They be putting too much water in these bottles. As soon as you open it, it be all over you.
Oh yeah, My eyes are watering. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here.
What's wrong with you?
I think it's allergies or this light. I don't know.
You ain't got the COVID, do you?
No, I don't. I'm healthy,
All right.
girl.
No Rona over there.
Yes, Miss Baxter said fans be gone by midnight. They do. If you don't care early, you're definitely not getting a fan.
And this is the thing with the fans. People thought that it was just some marketing, you know, a marketing pull on our part. We're like, no, these have practical import. Like it's right now it's the beginning of the party. You feeling the AC, but once all these kinfolks get in here,
yes, a little bit after midnight, 1 a.m. Mm-hmm.
my boy Shay on there. Oh, Olivia on there, man. See, we got some top notch partners on here.
Yes. I appreciate everybody for coming. Excuse me, I do not. Actually, I don't have COVID, and we're not in the same room. Okay, guys. Okay, so how did you get to Vice? Because Vice, look, just go there.
How did I get the Vice?
Yes, how did you get to Vice?
I have what do you say?
I said congrats on the Emmy. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Shout out to T Ree. What's up, player? I see you. Yeah, man, I got my kinfolks on here. I feel loved. I got to Vice. I have to credit my management. I got representation as a comic when I wasn't even looking for representation. And these dudes, they took me out to lunch, like 4-star restaurant, order what you want. And I was like, what part of the game is this? Like they treated, like it was proper. You know what I'm saying? Like they sat down and they were like, how do you see your career? What do you want to do? And they were like, well, this is how we see you. Like, you're very funny as a comic, but honestly, you're much more than a comedian, and we think the world should see you as such. And I respected that, and so they would send me, out on auditions and stuff. And it's funny.
What?
I auditioned.
Oh, wow.
This is gonna be funny. I auditioned for a role on Insecure.
Did you? What happened? How was the audition?
It was huh?
Go ahead. I'm ready to hear the rest of the story.
It was the role of what's Issa, the light skinned dude that's from Houston in the joint.
Oh, Nathan.
That role.
Did you?
So
wow.
Yeah, but like it wasn't like something special because managers, they send you out on all sorts of auditions. So This was just one, and like a whole bunch of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Nathan is my home. Yeah, Nathan. That's the role, right?
The barber. Yep, he was a barber.
Yeah. So that my managers would send me out for stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do several of these, and you don't, once you do them, you just walk away and forget about it. And if you get called back, great. If not, you're not emotionally attached. That's just the way that that world works. And then they hit me up about Vice, and obviously that's not acting,
Right.
And what's crazy is the people at Vice contacted my management company for someone else that they represent.
Oh.
And that other person was not available, and they said, I know this is the person you wanted, but we just signed somebody that we think may do you right, like someone that you would like. And then so I went in for a screen test,
mm-hmm.
And I just treated it just like another audition, like, but obviously they want you to be you on camera, and did the screen test, and they do, you had to do a mock interview and like a piece to camera about, some story that you may be interested in, and then walked away and forgot about it. And then 3 weeks later, got called in to talk to the executive producers of Vice News Tonight on HBO, and had a conversation for an hour. And of course it got philosophical, you know, We talked about politics, philosophy, all of that stuff. And then after that, my managers called me and they said, Vice wants to work with you. And you know what my first question was?
What?
Is it full time? Because if it is, I don't want it.
Listen, people who don't usually freelance don't always understand that. But I feel like that I've had that before in other roles. Whenever I get a full-time offer, it's hard.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. But then, you know, fast forward 2 years later, I'm still with Vice, and I'm still able to be nimble and do other things, but clearly that takes up quite a bit of time. But it doesn't feel like work because I'm able to be myself, and I'm kind of able to fuse my love for learning, my love for, you know, laughter. And so like a story that is serious,
yeah,
you know, the challenge is trying to infuse some levity in this in the situation, right? And then stories that are inherently funny,
yep,
you don't want to make too much light of them. You want to ground them in seriousness. So like men's hair weaves, right? You hear that and jokers is like, what?
like
Dudes getting hair weaves, and you just, you know, you just want to start roasting and laughing.
right.
And that's what we do in the story. We do, there is a part of that, but then you recognize that there are some people who suffer from alopecia, they're you know, cancer patients that are going through chemo. And so you kind of negotiate the relationship between being serious and delivering that seriousness packaged in something that's not. So, you know, to deliver it in a way that's light and people and easy for people to take.
Okay. So question, do you have a few more minutes? Because Instagram is about to cut me off, but you have a little time we could come back on. But how are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm down.
So we'll be right back. We're going to hang up and we're going to dial back in so we don't get cut off by Instagram.
All right.
Thanks.